hearing you.
Okay, great. Much better.
Nam, do you
No,
want
no
to?
headphones.
Nam, do
No
you want to
headphones.
do it?
Ami Bird, go in the other room, please. If you're gonna watch that.
But trust me, we can see you.
Sit down.
It's gonna be hard. Yay!
All right, here we go.
Yay!
You are listening to the show on 103.5 FM WNHH, NewHavenIndependent.org. This is the show. My name is Michelle Turner, and in the studio with me, who has brought his lovely family members,
Yes,
is Alan Jackson. We know him as Dulio.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
And what you hear is Naomi and Nia giving
Yeah.
their hellos as well. So they're probably going to be in and out. So
we have some new visitors
let
coming
me
with
tell
us.
you why Dooley is here.
Right.
Dooley is not only an artist, he is an international disc jockey, rapper, and he also has done some murals around town. So he's got a mishmash of stuff. Can we say that you are a true child of the hip hop movement?
Yes. I mean, you can say that. Some say Renaissance man, or or whatever that means to certain people.
Uh-huh.
That kind of stuff.
Jack of all trades, master of none type of person. Jack of too many trades, actually.
Yeah, lots of that.
Well, let me ask you, is it frustrating to you? I was going to ask you this later, but since you said that, is it a frustration because there's so many things that you, as a creative person, probably want to do, and you don't get a chance to really dabble everywhere?
I mean, it is very frustrating because
Oh, no.
during the course of my day,
Mm-hmm.
I have to think about
Oh, no.
what's next. Meaning that, like, for me, it's just like, okay, do I practice DJing right now? Do I record or make music, or do I start a painting?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just those three things. Right? I mean, recording, DJing, and painting.
Now, when you say record, explain
Recording,
to folks
like,
what you mean.
what I mean by making music, like, my past I've made of like 4 or 5. I mean, I honestly maybe 6 albums.
Mm-hmm.
I toured across seas. I rapped. I produced my own music. So when I say recording, like either recording myself or doing, as you would say in the hip hop world, making beats.
Mm-hmm.
So I have these things, these things, hanging over me daily, because each of them takes time to be very
Right.
productive. DJing, like I don't want to be the best DJ in the world, and I don't think I could ever be the best DJ, but I want to be very skillfully good.
And you are.
And I have some talent, don't get me wrong, I have talent, but I feel that there's like there's talent and there's like extreme talent.
Right.
You have to go pee. Okay, so we got
Right.
where's the bathroom?
Oh,
Let's see. All
no.
right, Nia, take her to the bathroom.
Oh, shoot. Why do I gotta
Nia,
do this episode?
Nia, take her to the bathroom now.
Hi.
Where's the restroom at? Is it in the
It's
hallway
right
to the
around the
right?
corner.
Go straight to the hallway and take a right. Go ahead.
See the key hanging up there on the door? Take that and you'll see where it says women. Live
She's on her
radio,
phone.
folks, you
Hold on,
cannot beat it.
I'll be right back.
All right, he's coming back. This is what's called live radio. And as of someone who's been a parent, I know very easily and very distinctly how things go when you have your children in the studio.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
Good point. Okay, so Nia, sit at a microphone. Is it going to be hard? Sit at that one till your dad gets back. Yep. Now, tell me, you were talking to me about artwork. Tell me about how things were working out for you as an artist. And get close to that microphone.
It was like kind of hard, but Daddy showed me how
Nope.
to do it, and
Get close. Turn around. That microphone right there. Yep, what's in front of you?
but then I wish I brought my binder so I can show you that that my picture I drew. It's actually a rainbow. It's like a rainbow girl. It's actually future me as a new artist.
So when you say future you, how old are you in the future when you are in this picture?
I forgot so hard.
Well, listen. Tell me about the other work that's in the binder.
Well, I do my reading. I do lots of reading. But in my school, it's like
No, you can't lose it in school. Your mom would not be happy if you lost it in school.
Because she's a literacy coach. I know.
Oh,
yes.
Oh boy.
Thank you for sitting in.
Thank you, Nia, for sitting in. She's such a.
She is. She's ready.
She's ready, and
she's ready to be a radio personality. She's already got it.
She's yeah.
She said she's an artist as well. So,
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
She's gonna bring her.
You want what? McDonald's?
Oh my goodness!
I don't know if that's gonna happen. All right, listen. Say hi to the people. Look, turn around. Say hi.
Turn around. Say hello.
Say hi. Look over there. Over there. Say hi. All right, now move the other way. Thank you.
All right, let's do some shout outs. Let's do some shout outs.
No, I ain't doing no shout outs. Listen, we're doing an interview right now. Look, time is ticking, please. All right, so we're very sorry.
We're not a shout out yet, okay?
No, we're not doing that.
Eventually, we will.
People got to pay for shout outs.
Yeah, that's true. But as someone who has been doing this as long as you have,
okay,
do you find that it's difficult for you to still be organized, get organized, and like you were saying before you left, do I make music? Do I paint? Do I practice DJing? Does it get any easier?
No, I mean the more older I get, the more slower I'm feeling.
Really?
So, honestly, the more older I get with this, the more slower it gets for me. Like meaning, like my motivation is not as strong as, of course,
as it once was.
18 or something like that. You know what I mean? I do have a family, and I do got to make sure that my family time is important because I'm always out.
Right.
Trying to go to art shows, trying to connect with people, and that's just that right there is a lot to just I get it. When people think of like I want to be an artist or any type of artist, they got to learn how the sacrifices are to be made. Like there is no see this put like this. You have to do this when you're really young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But since I've grown, I started young, and it's just still still with me.
It's still a part of you.
It's still a part of me because I'm basically just in my blood, and the phone just keeps ringing. I mean, constantly. It's something every day. Like somebody's like, "Oh, can you do this? Can you do that?" If it ain't every day, and I'm believing it's every other day.
Every other day.
So I feel bad to the people I don't really get a chance to get back to on time and be like, I'm sorry. I was supposed to do this, but I can kind of do it now and still not really fully get a chance to really do it.
Get it done
on point. Unless you just catch me where it's like boom right then and there. Then things are happening. But I mean, it's been great. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. I mean, thank God. I mean, it supports my family. And I just keep moving. When it comes, I just take it and just keep moving. It's a little frustrating.
So, how old were you when you first discovered art?
I've told the story a couple of times, but art was like something that was kind of like, I wouldn't even say like some people say, I grew up looking at comic books. I didn't grow up looking at comic books. I kind of just, art didn't really hit me till I was like maybe like 10. 10. And then the whole hip hop thing came in. And then I saw graffiti for the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't really like graffiti because it was, at that time, I didn't never seen really good graffiti. So when I saw good graffiti by Scott Huckabee,
right?
Everybody know him as the Godfather.
Yeah.
Scott used to go around town tagging his name Izzy, and he did something really nice on my school at Roberto Clemente, and I was just like, wow, that's really cool.
That's it.
And then after that, I started doing some research and saw a couple like movies about documentaries about graffiti and stuff like that. After that, I was hooked.
After that, that's when graffiti.
When did the DJing come in?
DJing came in when I moved to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left here to go to San Fran because
how old were you?
I had to be. Wow, how old was I? I had to be like close to 30, 28. Actually, 28, late 20s actually, because I lived in LA before.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to LA only because I met a friend of mine who I used to be pull up that. I gotta back up a second. I used to be with a record company called Tab Dash Records. And anybody who knows Tab Dash Records was a part of was the first people who found R. Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah, quiet please. Stop. Well, the first who discovered R. Kelly in a public announcement.
Right.
And then they went over they sold R. Kelly to Jive, but Tab Dash Records brought me down to New Orleans for the Black Radio exclusive convention, the BRE.
Yes.
At the
very
time.
familiar.
So the BRE, so when I went to BRE, I met this lady called, I think her name was Joyce, and me and Joyce became really good friends, and she was like, you need to come to LA if you really want to get, set it off, because I got a couple connections, and they need to meet you. So I took that chance, went to LA, stayed there for a while, I came back, and then still had this whole, I don't want to be in New Haven type of thing. I'm sure we all go through it.
Yep.
Went back out this time. I had a friend who lived in Frisco, so back probably 98, 99, I went to Frisco this time. Stayed in the Bay Area, and so what happened is that a friend of mine, Vinny Ferraro, who used to own 10 Times Dope, who left New Haven and moved to California, he said, "Come out there." I stayed with him in Frisco, and he the one that said, "Listen, you're always producing." Producing meaning that I was collecting records. I know music because I know James Brown. I know Lonnie Liston Smith.
Right.
I know Idris Muhammad. I know, people of such great jazz and funk and soul caliber and hip hop I already automatically know. So I know all of these genres of music, but I never was a DJ. I was just sampling, making music, making beats, if, for those that don't understand what I'm saying. I was sampling, making beats, and he was just like, you need to start DJing because you know the music.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that does make sense. And at that time, everybody in San Francisco was a DJ.
Wow.
And this was before computers and all that stuff.
This was straight vinyl.
There was
straight vinyl and the
so
techniques.
Many. And then I used to just go to these parties. One in particular called Future Primitive. And these parties was like incredible. Like these DJs were playing the music I know. Yeah. Please, stop it. Okay. These DJs were playing the funk, the soul, and this really opened my eyes more about what I was doing, because I was like, wow, in my general area in New Haven, no one was doing that at all. They wouldn't even dare touch a James Brown record at a party. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got to have a funky good time song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Pass the peas, whatever. But so I started DJing. My first gig was at I hooked up with this guy named DJ Inky, and we went around to the Visadero, etc., and we hooked up into this spot called the Makeout Room. Now, mind you, I only been there like maybe 3 months, maybe between 3 and 6, right? I already got a gig on a Saturday night at the Makeout Room with DJ Inky. I didn't even really know what I was doing, honestly. I'm not even gonna front. It didn't come natural to me, mixing.
How long did it take?
It took a good year and a half to figure out what to do. Honestly, you know what I mean. And then it took like to really understand how to mix two songs together. It really took me like maybe about 10 to 13 years to really figure it out. Like, this is how you do it. This is how you blend it, and this is how you work the mixer, because it's all about working the mixer and in the timing.
Right.
So now I've gotten great with the timing, great with the mixing, but I'm still working on scratching, honestly. You know what I mean?
Really?
So, yeah. I mean, I'm not that type person.
And it is art.
I mean,
truly.
that is talent within itself, and that's a lot of practice.
Yeah.
I don't really get a chance to practice because you just heard what I said. Either I'm making beats, I'm painting, I'm DJing every Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and Sunday. So I'm really kind of burnt out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes, so I don't really get a chance. I just sit. Like, you know, this week I was so burnt out from last week. I've been sitting from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Wow.
Today, and I just sit there and go, man. My mind is saying, do something. You know?
But you can't. You can't. You're not.
I have a fashion show. Never Was a Fashion Show.
I remember
this
that.
Friday.
I remember
this Friday.
This.
Never Was a Fashion Show behind the British Art Museum.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think it starts at 5:30, 6 o'clock. So anyway, and a couple other things. But I mean, like, it's sometimes it's you know, gets frustrating. But DJing happened there at the Makeout Room, so we had a place at the Makeout Room.
Yeah.
Then from the Makeout Room, we kind of got fired. I got fired at the Makeout Room.
Why?
I told them that I told them that their sound system wasn't all that. You know what I mean? They got mad at me. They was like, "Oh, we told you." You know, it was like this. They wanted all underground music, and I was all for that. So I just started playing little Michael Jackson. They didn't want to hear Prince or Michael Jackson. They said, "Look, we want everything that nobody knows." This and that. I was like, you know, but we partying at least a Michael Jackson song. You know what I'm saying? So that started an argument. Then I was like, well, you know what? Plus, I was a little tipsy. It was like, you know what? Your sound system ain't all that anyway. They was like, oh, really?
Well, so I got the call. Pay you.
I got the call and was just like, you know, this over. And then from there, you know, I went to the Visadero, the Fly Bar, which I love because they had me there every Friday. You know, and it was part like living on your own. You eat,
right,
and you get paid. You know, and so once I figured out that, you know, there's no need for me to go out anymore, because going out was starting to cost me money. Every time I went out was like $100, like $80. Like, man, I mean, I know some people like, man, I've spent like 2-3 G's at the bar. I mean, like, yo, you crazy? I'm not.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm a realist. So my reality is that if I wasn't getting paid by the bar,
right,
I'm not spending money at the bar. And I found that DJing helped me get paid, free drinks,
right,
and free party and free everything else. With all that before that, I had to pay for it.
Right.
You know,
and you got into other people's parties.
Exactly, and they pay you too. So,
right.
So the thing is that, so that's how it all started. So I started in Frisco, and I did a bunch of parties out there. Got a little name for myself, tiny bit out there. I didn't stay there too long, and I ended up coming back home. So when I came back home, trying to do the nights I was doing there, because sometimes y'all see me do these funk and soul nights, and you know, and people don't really come out because they don't get it, or they culturally just not there. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, or I'm not promoting it hard enough. Either way, I mean, but you know, I still enjoy doing what I do, and you know, so I had to switch the funk and soul nights to a regular night, and we started that over at Rudy's, and we've been going there.
We'll talk about that in a minute, because I want to talk more now about your European piece. So how did that happen for you?
Which one is that?
When you first started to tour, how'd you get hooked into going to Europe, making that music?
Okay, so you know, I've done an album. Okay, let's backtrack just a little bit. When I had mentioned Tab Dash Records, that was one of the record companies that I dealt with in 1987 and 88. Okay, they were supposed to put my record out. I was with the same Steezo clique, and everybody know who Steezo is. Chris Lowe and Jim Slice. I was one of the record finding, one of the producers, outside of the legendary Paul C producer, and Chris Lowe, who produced as well. I was the one that had records. You know, most of the sounds on the album was, you know, part of our clique together and how we made things happen. Unfortunately for me, I missed the date on the record cover or I was out going on. I had a plan to meet record company at the day they were shooting the Steezo record cover, the album. And so that's reason why I wasn't on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So besides that, I still had my recordings of 1988. Okay. So, and I had a friend whose name is Egon, who once again, this is like a big full circle. My buddy Vinny, I was telling you about in Frisco, who lived here, who had a store at 10 Times Dope, who I met Egon at 10 Times Dope, and I was playing those olden soul and funk records.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying, well, what kind of music is that? I'm like, yo, this is, we call break beats, funk, soul, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And he's like, wow, it's incredible. So that one moment, he turned around and went to L.A., went to Tennessee, hooked up with a guy. They moved to L.A. and started a record company called Stones Throw Records. Stones Throw Records was a big deal because Egon was the one who took my idea, and also I had an Access Channel show here in New Haven called on CTV called Graffiti TV.
Right.
And on Graffiti TV, I would take those old records and say, yo, this is where Black Moon got their beats for the song Who Got the Props by Lonnie Rawls.
Mm-hmm.
So I will play the original jazz sample, and I would just go through records, check this one out, this is so-and-so. I would just play records that people knew, and people just like, oh, wow, I didn't know it came from the original.
That particular.
Yeah, vinyl and stuff like that. So let's fast forward a little bit. So Egon, and then we're doing parties playing these records, just like how I would do it, but instead of me just cutting it short, they would play the whole thing through.
Okay.
And they would get people to dance. The whole night was about funk and soul and jazz, and so they would get people to dance. And this thing started building up, and so they got big. Stone Throw Records start putting out artists, and then they start putting out a whole bunch of things. So now they're touring, they're doing a thing, and I'm out in Frisco, so they come to Frisco, and it was like, well, what's going on with you? It's like, man, I'm trying to get down with y'all. That's why I'm out here.
Right.
Oh, Dooley, you down with us? No, I'm not. I'm not down. You guys are touring.
Right.
Tomorrow I'm DJing around the corner. Tomorrow you're DJing in Oklahoma, and then from Oklahoma you're going down to Texas, and then from Texas you're going to a whole bunch of places. I'm not down.
Right.
Well, what you want me to do? My boy Egon's boy, he was like, well, what you want me to do? His name was Peter Butter Wolf. He was the owner of the record company. I said, put my record out. And he said, what, the one that old one that Egon got? I was like, yeah, I'm waiting on y'all. He was like, no problem. I said, wow, it was that simple.
Wow.
Jump on the plane, get out of here, made a leap, talked to the main person, sold myself, because you got to sell it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sold myself and said, listen, put my record out. No problem, Dooley. And then from there, that record came out, made a big buzz. An unreleased album that came out in 88. Okay? Now, another friend of mine, Paulie, that I do beats with, Paulie out in Wallingford, he tells me, send your new stuff to Lewis Recordings out in London. Fine. I sent it to Lewis Recordings. Lewis was like, yeah, I know of you.
Wow.
I've heard of you. I've heard that album. I heard the story. I heard about this and that about you. I'll put it out. Meet me in Manhattan in 3 months with everything. I meet him in Manhattan. Before then, he sends me contracts. Contracts are great. He gives me money. Here's some money. I'm going to put your record out. I'll be back in another 4 months. He comes back again. I'm going to put a couple singles out. Here's some more money. And this is like probably 13 years ago. Because I know I was dating my wife at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So now, next thing you know, the record's out. And what was great about Lewis Recordings is that Mike Lewis was a publicist.
Okay.
So he knew how to tap into the magazine world, into when the internet was just starting, but the magazines were still out. Now, when I tell you I got magazines of this, with all, please don't let mama throw your magazines out. Daddy magazines out. Like this, of all information, flyers, ads of what Doolio, etc. albums all about. So then, the magazines is popping. I'm getting magazines sent to me. I was like, wow, this I'm doing all right now. So now
you getting to feel it a little bit.
It's like, we're going on tour. Oh, we're going on tour? All right, great. Where are we going on tour? London. We're gonna do the UK. We're gonna do Ireland.
Wow.
And Scotland.
Wow.
You're gonna be here for three weeks. Can you do it? Yeah, I can do it. What's the pay gonna be like? It's all promotion.
Wow.
Man, promotion. But see, but me being me, don't get me wrong, I still I said I had to think about it. I said, man, I don't know if I could do it. But see, that's that not leaping attitude.
Yeah.
What else am I gonna be doing?
Right. What have I got to lose?
What I got to lose? At that time, I don't even think I even had a job at that time. I was just kind of winging it, like maybe DJing. I don't know what I was doing. But I said, okay. I finally convinced myself to go. But I was smart enough to have product with me.
Right.
Merchandise. Right. Okay. So I had merchandise. I had my old album that came out, right? I made 2 mixed funk CDs. Okay, I had CDs. I didn't even have T-shirts. I had DVDs of the old graffiti tapes that I was documenting and stuff like that. The graffiti TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 4 or 5 different things. And when I tell you the merch table was all me, and the main dudes had like 2 CDs. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody else that came through was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest of the table was all me.
Oh, y'all.
So when I came back home with like $2 grand in my pocket.
Yeah. Which wasn't bad.
Which ain't bad, but
Which
I mean, like
bad.
some people would be like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, but listen, you went. You weren't really expected to do that much business,
no.
And that's the thing. You know what I have learned about independent artists is that's one way they pull in a lot of money, is to put their promotional stuff out there, that merchandise.
Yeah,
and people go and buy the merchandise at the show.
Yeah, merchandise is the truth. I mean, like I tell people, make sure you have your T-shirts, you got stickers,
right.
Because those people who liked your performance, like, let me check the CD.
Right.
I like who he was as a person.
Right.
So they buy the CD. They next thing you know, they're playing your CD constantly, looking for you. They're following you, and you've gained a new fan.
Right.
And that was another thing that I've learned, that I've gained fans over there. I don't even call them fans, a family. I gained family over there, just to off of that one tour. Then what happened while I was in Ireland, I met a guy named Longy who brought me back to Ireland. I was in Dublin. He brought me over to Cork City, Limerick, and we did like a 4 show tour over there for a week.
Wow.
And and Scotland was great. I mean, Scotland was beautiful. I mean, just to be outside of the United States is just it's crazy. And I'm sure a lot of people, you get a whole different vibe. But wow,
right.
Maybe I can live amongst this, because you don't get. I mean, honestly, I have to say this: you don't get this black and white thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it. I didn't feel. As soon as I got off the plane, I wasn't feeling none of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for those that don't understand, you gotta be black to understand. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? You get this in certain places.
Yeah, you do. You get that vibe, like
you that black guy in the room.
Shouldn't have been here.
Exactly. But I mean, love is love with everybody with me.
Yeah.
People who know me, they know me. So I mean, like, but when I was there, I felt like I was just a regular person. I was even more happy that people were just like more or less like really coming up to me saying hi, are you American, or blah, just asking questions.
Yeah.
And be like, well, what are you doing here? And I'm like, well, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, that's awesome. That's great. Supporting you, loving you. And you'd be like, wow,
this is amazing.
Going around the corner, going Blatchley Avenue one wrong night. It's over with. Blatchley and Ferry, big swell and shouting. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you might play it wrong.
And I mean, I'm sure it's the same over there too, and I'm sure they have all that, but I've never experienced it. And believe me, when I went to France, and then and then I came back. I did another album. My last album I did was with a French label, called Sleeders Records, and my boy Terry, who is now I am a godfather to one of his sons. So
wow,
I was in France for like 3.5 weeks, maybe 4. I couldn't even, but and it was the thing about touring and like people, rappers who want to do all this,
right?
You got to understand the road is not a friendly place.
Yeah, the road
one
is
thing about it. The road is
tough.
The show is great, but when you leave that show to get back on that road and trying to get the A and B to and from a foreign land,
right?
I mean, now you can do it because you got Google Translate.
Right.
Before, when I last time went to France, that whole app thing was starting to happen. I was just like saying to myself, why didn't I use the app while I was in France? Because nobody spoke English too much where I was at in northern France.
Yeah.
I was in Strasbourg. I wasn't in Paris. I was in Strasbourg, 6 hours away from Paris. So my journey to France was get on the plane, get off the plane, with 2 luggages, get on the train, catch the shuttle train to the other train,
wow,
to another train. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it took me probably 5 hours when I got off the train to get, I ain't gonna say 5, I'm exaggerating. 3 hours to get from one train
to the next,
to the main train.
And then to the next train
to get to where I need to be in Strasburg, France.
Wow.
It was, and so like.
And how long were you there?
I was there for 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
And it was a tough one. It was tough, and luckily we did have Skype, so I was able to.
Okay, so you were good with
touch
that.
base with my family every 5 seconds, like every 5 seconds. You know, I mean, it was like you know, oh wow, you know, I'm on oh, and then I'm just like the first week got homesick. I'm missing my kids, and it's just like wow. And then that Skype really helped me out.
It helped you out.
That helped me out so much. It was I was like, that's a blessing.
It made you
technology is a blessing.
Yeah.
In this class somewhat. But yeah, so the road is tough. The road is
But
tough.
now
very tough.
What did you gather from that? What did you learn in all of that? Did it influence you as an artist? Did it influence your music?
No, actually, it kind of made me back out.
Wow, why?
Because when I went, here was the thing. I had maybe 12 shows lined up. So as soon as I get the friend, 7 shows back up.
Mm-hmm.
So you imagine, I'm supposed to be coming home with like probably 15 grand.
Right.
No. I came home with 400.
Wow.
You understand that?
Yeah.
But luckily I was smart enough again to handle my home business. Because, you know, when you come home, you still got them old bills from 3 weeks ago. So I handled my business before I left. Right. Thank God I was smart enough to do that. And thank God that my boss, he told me to get an intern to do my job.
Mm-hmm.
And we found an intern and stuff like that. And I'm thank God for all that. And when I came home, I was just like, man, I did all of this hanging out and all of this recording. And I come home with $400. That ain't right. You know, I mean, but my business wasn't on top. I wasn't on top of the business before I left. Meaning I would let them handle it. When I should have been like, yo, make sure you get half the money up front in case they bail out. Like somebody asked me to do that again because somebody recently just was like, when you coming back to the UK? And I was like, well, whenever. See, now my mind is like, yeah, I can do it, but I have to be understanding. I need to have some money in my pocket, and before I even get there, right? They have to pay at least half.
Yeah, and you need a person on the ground over there to conduct business for you. That's
doing it the right way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if I go, I'll just be going just for the weekend. Right. If they want me to go to France to DJ, whatever, I'll go for the weekend. I won't even be looking for it.
Right.
To trying to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're doing underground hip hop and real hip hop,
yeah,
your life is you're not gonna get them $50,000 gigs. You be happy you get $3 or $4 grand. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know some dudes that are still touring, they're only getting like you know, less money than they would have if they came back out in the 80s like older rappers.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, that's still, you
know. But the thing about that is also when you start talking about underground, that's a select audience. And they expect certain things. But you're also not getting paid like everybody else is, or people that have so-called broke out, because for the simple fact that part of that is ticket prices, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, my daughter follows an indie band. When she started going to shows, tickets were $10 and $12.
Right.
And I'm like, how are these guys making money? If, you know, okay, so you got 2,000 people, but they're only paying $10.
Right.
And you know, and you got a full band.
I'm sure the band is like $1,200-$1,500
right.
to book, or $1,000, you know. Yeah, I mean it's
so it's a different kind of vibe. It's not as it would be said commercial. You know.
I mean, if you're doing it for the culture and for the love, then
it's different.
Hats off to you. You don't care.
Right.
You know, if you got family at home, you better handle your business.
Yeah, it's a different ball game.
Because, you know, but it is definitely a great experience. You know what I mean? I had my best birthday. I had a birthday when I was in where was I? Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my birthday. I performed and everybody
was loving it.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah,
like
that's
one
cool.
that was like being on my first tour was a dream come true, and that's why I started to rap. Because I started seeing like people like Jungle Brothers, Tribe Called Quest.
Right.
Where are they? They in France. They in London. What?
Right.
What? Bismarck in London. What?
Right.
I said, you mean to tell me that if I make a record, somebody's gonna pay me to fly across these? Cause I ain't had no money there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Wow, I want to do that. So
it worked out.
It worked out. I fulfilled it.
Yes, he did it.
You are listening to the show on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We're streaming on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. All you have to do is go to facebook.com, New Haven Independent, or facebook.com/New Haven Independent, or go to your own Facebook page and look us up. I have in the studio with me Alan Dulio Jackson. Most of us know his artwork or his DJing because he excels at both, and he's a New Haven legend, as well as someone who was very involved in graffiti here. Can I say that now?
Yeah, you can say that. You can say it.
Can I just say that now?
Okay, let's do it.
So the artwork.
Okay.
Because you got my favorite piece. And when I come, I'm going to come with some real money because I want that James Brown.
Okay, it's waiting on you.
But what inspires you to do the pieces that you do? Because your stuff, it varies. Like you have the James Brown piece, and then you have pieces that look like some graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have more professional looking pieces. What inspires you? Is it a mood, or is it,
sometimes it's a mood. I mean, like right now, if you go on Instagram, you can just swipe all day and look at art. You can swipe graffiti, you can like all styles, many. See the thing about it is that, back then we weren't able to do that.
Right. Because
so your influences, my influences are from original graffiti heads. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always going to be doing graffiti. It was, now it's like this thing now where you swipe and you see tons of different art. You can pick this up. What you see, you can pick up all types of art and get influenced easily.
Right, but back then
the influence came from like one book called Subway Art or Spray Can Art, or I forgot the other one. But these these books had taught you the way. Now you have access to all over the world. Before we had access to New York. That was it. Then Chicago started doing things. Philadelphia. That's all you really know. But I don't think anybody at that time was like it was starting like this. I'm going to use Oklahoma because that's far away.
Right.
But stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like now you can see the world. You can swipe Oklahoma, New York, Chicago, Branford, Connecticut, New Haven, West Haven, but my influences come from just other artists influenced me. And that's how I was pretty much like influenced, like even with my rap. I was a big Daddy Kane fan. I'm still a big Daddy Kane fan. I'm still a big Daddy Kane fan. I love Big Daddy Kane. I'm not gonna front.
He's one of the best.
Big Daddy Kane,
no doubt.
I'm a big time Tribe Called Quest, Jungle Brothers, the whole De La Soul, Native Tongue movement. I mean, etc. We can go on Cool G Rap, Guru, Gangstar, of course. So I mean, we can just keep going and keep going.
Right.
But I mean, like, but now I can't get influenced to rap because I have not heard one rap song what made me want to rap. Because that's how it was back then.
Right.
The influence was like, oh, yo, you heard that new King joint?
Right.
Yeah, go back to the drawing board. And like, we used to just listen to the radio and be like, oh, what's that?
Right. Right.
Man, what's that song? Who is that? Like,
I know on Instagram a couple of months ago, there's this picture of DJ Jazzy Jeff, and he had his eyes bulging out of his head. And he said, I just listened to the radio for about 2 hours. He said, when I get home, I'm throwing my drum machine out. He's like, why is it so much 808 on the radio? I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
You know? So anytime you have somebody like that say, listen, I don't know what y'all are doing and I can't figure it out, then there's an issue.
Yeah.
It's an issue.
I mean, with me, I don't really. Here's my take on what's going on now on the radio. My take is that there is room for what's going on now. And don't get me wrong, because I always say this: when James Brown was doing his thing heavy, and when disco came out, and when he came, I'm unsure up north or whatever. He came, he saw this disco thing happening. He's saying, "What are y'all doing? This ain't hot."
Yeah.
They're like, nah, what you doing is old now.
Right.
This is the new thing.
This is the new thing.
And, you know, we'll go. You got to get the key, okay?
You know where it is, right?
You know where the key is, right? You know where the bathroom is? Straight ahead, right there. So anyway, like even James Brown was like, what are y'all doing? This is not it. What I'm doing is it. You know what I'm saying? Dania, open the door and go, please. To the bathroom.
I love them. I love them.
They're great. They're part of my job.
Yes.
So when 5 o'clock come around, you can't find Dooley. I'm with them. You understand what I'm saying?
And they're fascinating.
And they're fascinating. They're incredible. And their training process will be starting very soon. So because I want them to be independent.
Well, you know, it's interesting that Nia brought up the fact that she had a portfolio.
Yeah, she did say that?
Yeah, she did say that.
She's actually was starting to write a script.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how old is she?
She is 9. And she I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm writing a script for a movie. I said, well, continue. And then when you're done, let me see it. You know, she has her journal, all this other little thing. So anyway,
but you were saying that, you know, when James Brown came and he heard disco, he's like, this is not music.
This is not it. This is not it. This is, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So the time has to change. What I was saying about it has room for it. It has room for this music.
But is it genuine?
It's not genuine. But my thing is that you need help. You can't figure through the key. Okay. You have to pause, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to pause for a bathroom break.
All right, go ahead, because I got something I got to read.
Sure.
So, all right. The Frank H. Netter Medical School of Medicine, or MD. I'm reading like glasses, so help me out here. The Frank M. Netter, ND, that's who Frank Netter is. He was a doctor. School of Medicine at Quinnipiac University presents Dermatology and Education, Research, and Makeup Conference, Skin of Color Series. It's going to happen this Saturday, September 29th, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The guest speakers are the keynote, It's My Ray Ray, beauty influencer, Dr. Mona Gohara, MD of the Yale School of Medicine, Florcy Romero, M.A., Harvard University, the medical school, Dr. Laura Scott, of the University of Miami, Angel Tran, esthetician and microblading expert, and Marietta Whitley. On behalf of the Dermatology Interest Group, they're pleased to announce their inaugural conference, DERM, the Dermatology and Education, Research, and Makeup Conference, featuring It's My Ray Ray, and it's going to focus on skin of color assessment, treatment, the intersection of the mind and body, and interventions, and highlight the use of aesthetics as a vehicle for resistance, empowerment, and emotion. It's free for students. There's a $5 retainer fee that's going to be returned at the end. So that's this Saturday at the Frank H. Netter Medical School at Quinnipiac. All right. And for more information, you can go to the event link on Facebook. Go to facebook.com events. That's facebook.com/events. And I'll give that to you one more time. So you're saying there's room for everybody. I'm going to wrap this quick because I want to talk a little bit about what you're doing at Rudy's.
All right. So what I was saying real quick is that there's room for everybody, meaning that there's room for the new wave, the new trap, as you want to call it,
trap music, whatever. Yeah.
There's room for that. There's also room on the radio for classic music. There's also room on the radio for classic R&B and classic hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
There's room on a daily basis. We should not be burnt with one genre style of music. Every 3 new songs, on the 4th song should be a classic.
Yeah, I believe that. I agree with that.
So this way, it balances out the leverage. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
But when somebody like a Jazzy Jeff says it all sounds the same.
It does.
Did hip hop back in the day, though, sound the same?
It got caught one point. It did. It did. If you look at the between, I would say, 92 to 90, before Puffy got big. Before Puffy, I think, jumped in at 95, 96.
Yeah.
Right? In between that era, it was dark. It was deep. You had Onyx. You had, oh my God, I wish I could just remember. You had like Black Moon. You had stuff like that. And it was deep bass music. Like deep.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was great though. Don't get me wrong. It was still good. It was it went hard, deep jazz. Like deep bass jazz.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. So once that happened, it went from like, you know, not like Salt and Pepper, shake your thing. You know, I'm gonna use that as a comparison. That, you know, not happy, but more these evil streets is
right.
Ain't no one we can trust. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, whoa, now they touching the nerve. Now I shave my head bald.
Right.
I'm jumping around Onyx in circles. We throwing guns in the air. You know what I mean? Before we was like, had graffiti on our pants. We was doing the steezo. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it was lighter.
It was lighter, but then it got rough. And then Puffy was like, wait a minute. Let's
clean it up. Yeah, let's clean it up and make it sophisticated.
Right, let's get it back to partying.
Ghetto fabulous.
Right, exactly. So that's what happened. Like I said, but there was room for that, and they had its like 2-3 year time or 4 years that it just got deep and dark. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
And you know, and then they got partying, and then it went from partying back to the streets. I would say it got really hard with, let's say, like Lox, 50 Cent.
Right.
More that got really back, really hard, really, you know, smack you up, beat you down. I'll make $1 million. I'm doing it in a Bugatti. You know what I'm saying? Like, I jump out the Bugatti, hit you with the gun in the head, and I still look good with clean clothes on.
and I'm
jump right
doing
back
it well,
in a Lamborghini, right in the hood. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, like,
it's
so,
like,
but then now it's just gotten. I can put like this. I listen to a lot of rap, but not too much. Lately, I have not. You know, I'm trying to actually erase my mind from now, because now I see it starting to grow.
Okay.
So, you know,
okay.
I'm like, wait a minute, I know this song too well. I mean, which is cool, but it's starting to grow on me. Plus, I'm getting older, so sometimes your ears change.
Tell me about it.
You always wonder why young people out there, you always wonder why a whole bunch of old people be at the jazz festivals and stuff like that. Because they found easy living. They ain't going through all that madness.
No, it's a different ball game now.
Right. So now,
excuse me.
So real quick, you know, I just want to say that, you know, it has room, but the thing is that the problem with to me, and just like I agree with Jazzy Jeff, that the 808 is overdone. The little
this
is the music now.
Yeah.
With a little melody in the background. And everything's relied on what the rapper is saying, which is kind of cool. But let's take out the music and put some really good classic hip hop music on top of these Southern rappers. And for me, it's just like, how long is this gonna last?
Right.
I mean, Southern hip hop, Southern rap is like almost 20 or more, maybe.
Right.
I think it's like almost 20.
Master P and the crew.
Right. I mean,
Jermaine Dupri, all them folk.
Right. I mean, even Jermaine Dupri was from Atlanta, but Jermaine Dupri did it right because he hung out with Houdini. He hung out with in New York. You know what I'm saying? So he knew what it was about. But he knew that he had good Southern rappers, and that's how all his stuff worked. Ludacris, you know, what's her name?
The Brat,
etc. So yeah, so we can kind of move on. But you know, I tell you, if you take that 808 sounding music away from all these Southern rappers, and you give them some really good music to rap on, you'll think differently in how they sound.
Okay.
Believe me, I've heard it before, and I was like, wow, this sounds really good. Well, how come they don't do it all the time?
Right.
But
yeah, ask the question. So, Rudy's, you got 5 minutes.
Rudy's, the back room, every Saturday night. People ask me, where you DJing at? Listen, I've been DJing there for 7 years. You don't know that by now, you ain't paying attention. Right. Get off my Facebook page, please.
And how did it start?
It started with the let's see, Rudy's. Oh, okay. Let's keep it real. Lou Cox said they moved Rudy's from
around
Elm Street
to
Howland Chapel, and they got this little back room in there that you might want to check out. So I walk into Rudy. I was like, really? Because I was doing Cafe 9, Elm Bar, and the Elm Bar got on some old, you know, we not supporting the Chinese man because the Chinese guy owned Elm Bar at one time. Okay, so this is just that politics I'm talking about.
Okay.
The Chinese guy owned Elm Bar, and everybody didn't like the fact that the Chinese man owned the Elm Bar, which was the old Rudy's, because the guy who who had Rudy's at one time, they didn't own the building.
Okay.
The Chinese people bought the building on like a little uppercut. They just okay, so now we're gonna open the bar. We don't need you no more, Rudy's. We straight. So when the Chinese do open the bar, no one wanted to support them. They had some girl claiming noise ordinance every night.
Wow.
Every day, nonstop. And that's why Chinese dudes don't own it no more. They sold it or they just renting it out.
They're just renting it out. They're not the front of it. They're not the face of it anymore.
They're not the face of it, but I'm sure they own the building. I know they ain't gonna let that go. So they were smart enough to buy the building.
So you've been at Rudy's.
So I left. Okay. So I was at the original Rudy's. Elm Bar, whatever. I went to Rudy's. I walked in. I see the manager. I said, listen, my name is Dooley. I'm interested in doing a night back here, maybe once a month or something. And he was like, yeah, I know who you are. Let's do it.
Wow.
And 7 years later, I'm still
You're
there.
Still there. You're still doing it.
Yeah, and I'm playing music that I like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes, I give people what they want. You give them a little trap here and there. But it's just like, at some point, I'm like, yeah, I'll play it. I'll sit back and look and see people who want to hear that. Just stand there. Don't move. All right. Next. We back on some house. We back on some disco. We back on some classic hip hop. We back on anything that got a dope beat. So Rudy's every Saturday night, I'm there with the
Starting
crew.
at what time?
Start at 10 o'clock. Duel in the Gang.
All right. And the gang is pretty good.
The gang is good. Shouts out to Dana Gang, AFX. I'm gonna keep going. We had DJ Neb at one point. My boy DJ Deliver, Prime. All the guys that DJ there are nice. I-95.
And there's women too.
And Miss Isis. Yeah, Dana and Miss Isis. And we're gonna be doing a ladies' night soon.
Yeah,
all DJ ladies DJing. So and right now for the new year, if we continue for our 8-year,
I'm
gonna start switching up really heavy. You know what I mean? And starting getting some serious people. We had Chris Washington, who I met on the Vineyard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Juan Coon.
Yeah.
We've had some pretty
and
decent,
I
great DJs.
remember when Juan used to come around and say, just let me slide in for 10 minutes.
That's all. That's all he
just
wants
give me
to
10
do.
Minutes.
And look at him now.
Yeah.
He's sliding in with Dubai.
Hey, listen, that brother is killing it.
He's killing it, and he's doing
that brother is killing it. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of all of these folks because I remember when, when I was doing my own thing and I was out there spinning. So I remember.
And I definitely want to say, what's up to Joey D,
yes.
Diamond,
yes,
Bank B, Birdie. All these dudes that was doing it way before me. You know what I'm saying? I've learned and watched them how they do their thing.
And of course, legendary DJ Rainbow.
Oh, come on. He held the tours down.
Oh man. I now here's my little bit of DJing in New Haven. I used to do the happy hour at the Taurus.
Okay.
I was there from Thursday to Sunday, and Sunday I worked a little bit longer, but I would DJ. But on Fridays and Saturdays, when I finished my set, I'd go over and I get in the booth with Rainbow, and he was so cool about it.
Yeah.
You know, it was never like, oh, you're a girl, or you don't need to be here, you need to. I go up in the booth, I, stand a good distance because the booth that he had was pretty long, and just watch.
Yeah.
And just watch him move that crowd, and it was amazing.
Yeah, he's
a legendary guy.
Did you know Jazzy at all?
Which one?
NHC.
Oh
Jazzy?
yeah.
He used to live next door to me on Plymouth Street.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know Jazzy, I know Jerry. Well, Jazzy was my boss.
Okay.
Jazzy gave me my first radio job in Connecticut.
Oh wow. Where was that?
WNHC. And that's the Golden Crew. That was Dave Dickinson, who's on Sirius now.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
Hector Hannibal, who became Tom Joyner's program director.
Really?
Doc Winter, Doc Winter, who is now the vice president of urban music for iHeart.
Yep.
Who else? Wow. Connie Marshall, who went off down south somewhere. Carol Dockett, Tracina Gray, who is in DC, and they call her the queen of DC radio.
Yep. Chelsea Kendall Tyson.
Yep. Yep. Lenny Green, Bentley Clark. They were part-timers at NHC. Wow. They were part-timers.
See, y'all gotta know. Y'all see that?
So
man, you just hit me with a mega historical.
Yeah,
moment
it was,
right now.
and it was us.
It's always been that mystery of WNHC. All I knew was like Jazzy.
Yeah, because Jazzy was our boss.
And I seen him one day come out the turntables, and it was all sky blue and white. And I was just like, yo, what is that he's holding? You know what I mean? This is way back.
Yeah. And when Jazzy left, that's when Hector came in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had the good fortune of working with those guys and really learning a lot, because it was like a lab. It was an environment where everybody learned from everybody else. So, I'm fortunate to say I've worked with some of the great people right now in Black radio.
That's awesome.
It's a cool thing. It's a cool thing.
Pretty cool.
Dooley, thank you so much.
No
Appreciate you being
Instagram,
here.
Doolio,
yes.
DOOLEYO on Instagram, or Doolio or Art by Doolio on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy,
and Facebook, Doolio Jackson on Facebook.
Daddy, something else.
What?
The YouTube channel. Check out the link.
Oh, check out the Graffiti TV 1990 Instagram and on YouTube.
Thank you, Nia. Nia has been here listening and shouting in from the sidelines. So thank you very much. It's all love. She is hilarious.
Like
you are listening to the show on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We're streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. All you have to do is go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent, or just go to your own Facebook page and look us up. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Alan Jackson, for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Time, your energy, and your story. Very interesting. Glad you came on. Finally got you in the studio. I'll get you back when you do your art show. Oh, and he has a studio. Are you going to be a part of
Citywide Open Studios? I'm sorry, Citywide Open Studios. Never was in Fashion Show Rudy's. October 11th at that State House. Me and Juan Coon House Music Party.
All right, there you go.
Whew.
Never know who's going to be on the show. Bye, Harry. Thank you, Harry.
Bye, everybody.
We're done.
That's one way to
That's awesome.
Done.
I mean, it's a lot when you start getting me going there. It's just like
it's fun.
From this person, because I always hear the stories and how people, when they tell stories, they leave out
right.
They leave out
a bunch of people.
Right.
Like, how do you get this? Well, we got this record deal. Like, well, how'd you get the record deal?
Right.
You left from having a demo tape to I got a record deal.
Well,
who the one that put you in
right.
your place?
And it doesn't work that way.
And then it gets and then you get $40K from your bosses.
There is a process.